That I'm going to carry out is to examine common errors in report writing produced by SOP or young previous students. Hence, the context of the study would be previous students or forensic students who are studying in SOP or dialectic. Even though English is considered a second language for these learners since they are in primary schools, their proficiency level of English language may reflect them as foreign leaders. They have been learning English for so many years since primary school, yet the command of English language is still very weak. This can be seen in the report writing with the Western, which has many grammatical errors. It is important to identify the errors because the error production may impede progress of English language learning faced by these learners. Research and alternatives. This study hence aims to identify the common errors made by SOK or pre upon 6 students in their grade report writing and the factors that cause these errors. The objectives of this study are summarized as follows. The first objective would be identifying the error types which hinder learners from performing the report writing task effectively. The second objective would be investigating the frequency of errors produced by students in web report writing. And the last objective would be examining the reasons and factors that cause these errors. Research questions and hypotheses. This study seeks to examine the following research questions. First question will be what are common types of error which hinder learners from performing the report writing task effectively. Second question will be what is the frequency of different type errors produced by students in their report writing. And the third question will be why do these errors occur in the report writing. In order to answer all these three research questions, data will be analyzed from students' web report writing, which are taken from their examination script. It has been hypothesized that SFK or previous students are still producing language errors at different aspects of grammar, such as subject-verb agreement and template in the report writing, due to the interference of their first language system, which is considered a good factor, and generalization of the rules of English language, which is considered intralingual factor. Hence, the common errors made by previous students of SFK or in the web report writing will be analyzed to examine the types of errors and frequency of the errors by using error analysis. And then the factors of the occurrence of these errors will be examined as well, whether these errors are caused by interlingual factors or intralingual factors. For the literature review, I will talk about the previous studies done by other researchers related to this study. Marina Maris, Ban Qinghua, and Kajuyati in 2007 expanded in Norma Style and on 2012. They have used error analysis and contrastive analysis to examine the errors made by 120 students from 6 rural schools in Pahang, Selangor, and Melaka. And they have identified the 3 most frequent errors made by students in the writing are wrong use of articles, subject-verb agreement, and copular B. And this is largely due to the interference effect of BM in the acquisition of literacy to students. Siti Hamad Mustafa and Muhammad Mustafa Ibrahim in 2010 have carried out a study to identify errors in subject-verb agreement among 20 postgraduate students from a teachers training college from the northern state of Malaysia. The majority of the students commit errors in subject-verb agreement, especially in SVA of number and followed by SVA of person. This is due to the interference effect of PM in the acquisition of English literacy of the student. The methodology of this study is this study adopts both quantitative and qualitative approach. Quantitative approach is employed to investigate the type and frequency of errors made by SOK or pre-student in their report writing. And qualitative approach is employed to investigate the source of facts of errors that by SNK or your previous student in the web or right. The instrument used for error analysis will be for the report writings produced by the subject of the study during the final year examination in 2015. Hence, the data analysis plan will be as follows. The reports written by the student will be analyzed by using error analysis to identify the types of errors and frequency of the errors. Then, the set of the errors will be identified as well. This is important to find out whether these errors are caused by intermittent factors or intramittent factors. That's all from me.